when I restarted it. Let's see if it works now. I don't know. I don't know if this is going to work or not. I'm in the removed truck. I was hoping that cleared up, but I'm terrible short of breath. Um, one day at a time, brother. That's it. That's all. That's all I can do. Uh, Miss Mobo's got her little garden going. Tomatoes are doing good. Kind of wrestled the critters there initially. She did some composting and some of it was very aromatic, and so we had a couple of critters digging around in her stuff, kind of upset her, but that seems to have settled down now, and her tomatoes are really growing good. We've got cucumbers that are looking real good. Um, we didn't really do well on the potatoes. We didn't get any really um, seed potatoes. We had some that were eyeing out in the house, so she took them up there and planted them, but they never took. So I don't know. It's bouncing in and out. Just keep trying to reconnect. But anyway, I'm glad you stopped by. Give you a shout out, Vikings 986. Thanks for stopping in there, brother. Hi, Darlene. Oh, here's Christy. Jose, or is that? I'm gonna say Jose. Says hello. Thanks for stopping in, saying hey. How you doing, Darlene? Signal's been kind of sketchy. It's bouncing in and out a little bit. I keep trying to reconnect. We moved the truck. It was sitting in the driveway. I thought maybe it might be having something to do with it. Oh, we love you too, Darlene. Well, we're both doing pretty good. It's been pretty warm here the past few days, kind of, a lot of rain. Just trying to keep up with the mowing. In fact, that's what I want to do here. Gas came down today, so we filled up the gas cans. Her hand's been giving her a little trouble. I'm going to do a carpal tunnel procedure here pretty soon. Here in a few weeks. She's I think got one scheduled, so hopefully that'll help her hands. Going numb on her. Darlene says we've had storms here. It's crazy weather. Yeah, it is, Darlene. D says hey, Darlene. D says hey to Christy. Darlene says hello, Derek. Did I miss somebody? Kind of hard to see it. I turned the brightness up a little bit. D. McLean says, hey, Viking. Darlene says, hey, Christy. And D says, hey, Chris. Oh, there's a new one, Chris. I almost missed you. What's up, Henry? Oh, well, we're just sitting here in front of the pan. Just resting a little bit. I'm going to get on the motor in a little while. Give you a shout out here. Chris C6T4H. I don't quite know what that means, but... Oh, D. Oh, you're Derek. Oh, okay. Well, I didn't know that, D. I just always called you D. I'll start calling you Derek. That's nice to know. Darlene says, hi, Chris. Chris says, that's me. Here's Luis Marie Garcia. Hello, it's me, Luis. What's up, Luis? Thanks for coming in and hanging out for a little bit. I just hadn't been on for a while. Hope it's been between all the mowing and the world's just gone crazy. Can't hardly keep up with what's going on. And Darlene says, hey, Luis. Luis says, hey. But yeah, I graduated my pulmonary rehab class. Did that in May. I think the 1st of May. Somewhere in there. It's been a few weeks, a couple of weeks. But we've been so busy mowing and everything, and I've been pretty tuckered out, kind of wrestling this, this COPD's got a pretty good hold on me. So I do what I can do and try not to, I learned a lot there in pulmonary rehab and a good breathing technique that helps me, but I'll never get back. Lung tissue doesn't regenerate, and so there's really nothing aside from the lung transplant that's gonna do me any good. And I'm too old for that. They need to give them lungs to. Luis says, you're an old man, but have a wonderful day because you're the greatest person we've seen in our life. Thanks, Luis. I appreciate that. Goodness, thanks for your kind words. But yeah, just all we can do is take it one day at a time, and don't take it for granted. You gotta be thankful for today. And I am thankful. I've really got to. Oh, and there's another sweet lady. Hey, Carol. Carol says, hello, everyone. So I hadn't been on here and done any of this for a few weeks. So I thought I was just sitting here. We have got a tire that's got a nail in it, and it is seeping a little bit of air. So I backed it up here to the container and put some air in it, and in the mower tires, and check the mower over a little bit. And so I'm gonna go out there and get on it here in a little while. Darlene says, hey, Carol. Carol says, love you, Mobo. Thanks, darling. I love you, too. You've always been a great support. Here and took good, you and Darlene took good care of me here on my channel. Not letting anybody put up with any foolishness. Here we got another new one pop in here saying hello. Areza 2537 dash Q5G. Hey, Arenza, thanks for stopping in and saying hey. Just here doing a little live today. Haven't done it for a while. Thought I'd come in and say hello to everybody. Derek says, I know that feeling. Had knee surgery on 4/30 and already back to work. Well, I'll tell you what. It's going to be hard to call you Derek, D. It's wonderful to see Diane come down from the garden with a smile instead of a grimace. Her knees, it's been miraculous. What that's done for her. Now she's kind of wrestling her hands a little bit. You know, all them years typing and carrying on, but she's doing pretty good with it. We're gonna do a carpal tunnel procedure here in July, here around the first or second week in July, I believe it is. And she's got a really good doctor. They do a lot different than they used to. Just a couple little incisions and hardly any downtime. So if her knees are any sign of that, she'll heal right up, and so she's really looking forward to that. And Carol's saying hey, Dee, and gosh dang it, I tell you what, kind of hard to see who that is. Oh, there it is. Oh, that's Dee. Dee saying, hey, Carol. Here's Joaquin. Joaquin says, hey, bro. I think he meant bro, but hey, Joaquin, thanks for stopping in, hanging out. Darlene says, how's your leg and ribs doing, Dee? Dee says, I still have a lot of pain with my knee, but we're working through it. Darlene says, keeping you and Goldie in our prayers always. Dee, you give Goldie a big ol' hug. Dee says, Darlene, ribs are kicking my butt. Must have got in. What'd you get into, Dee? So yeah. Well, thank you all for coming in here this afternoon. But yeah, it's the wind's kind of helping. It's pretty humid. We're expecting some storms here later this evening. They got all the football people in town coming in, and of course that's what they call it. Actually, soccer. The whole city up there just gone crazy with this World Cup stuff, and I don't know. I guess we'll see. They got the great big fan fest thing going on up there, and but I'll tell you what, that town up there just them people are just shooting and killing each other every day. It seems like there's I don't know. I sure hope them. I sure hope they got their ducks in a row up there. They're going to have their hands full. And Darlene says, "Be careful in the storms." Yeah, we've been pretty lucky. Um, they kind of go around us here. We live down in kind of a bowl. We've got high elevations around us. A ridge to the north and west, and of course we got Cemetery Hill here behind us, and it kind of acts as it's kind of like a pinball. Storms come running in and they run up against these bumpers, and we've gotten some pretty good wind, but all around us, yeah, there's been quite a little bit of damage. Up in town, up there in the big city, up there, and a lot of trees blown over and stuff, and big wind, 70, 80 mile an hour wind. So we've been real fortunate so far. Almighty looks out for us. We never really had as soon as I say this, we did lose a great big tree. Of course, yeah, I think it was kind of on its way out. It was struck by lightning. I think, oh goodness, got to be almost 30 years ago. And here a couple, 3 years back, we were gone, and we came home, pulled in the driveway. It's like something looks different back here. Well, that big half of that cottonwood tree had blown over. We had several trees that were damaged, so it must have been a pretty good wind blew through here, took them out. Carol says, Carol says, soccer isn't my thing. Well, I'll tell you what, them people are fanatics, I tell you. We've seen how crazy they go in their countries. I don't know, man. I guess we'll see if they can behave themselves. And they want to keep the damn bars open till 5 o'clock in the morning. A drunk soccer fan, that sounds like a recipe for disaster to me. But no, we've kind of pretty much, all these sports, they've all gone woke. It's football. It's just terrible. You got this Rashid Wright guy, can't behave himself. He gets in a big old crash and down there in Texas in his Lamborghini, street racing down there, crashes and hurts a bunch of people. And so he gets off of it. They put him on probation, and so then he tests dirty for marijuana here recently, so they throw him back in jail. We humans, we just don't learn our lessons. It doesn't seem like. Darlene says, right, Carol. Yeah, we're not big soccer fans, are we? So no, even NASCAR, we pretty much. In baseball, they got that stadium thing going on, a controversy. They're trying to build it, and the people, they just don't want it downtown. Now the Hallmark, the Halls have given them build this stadium over there. Still don't want it. They were going to put it just a few blocks away there in the that one area down there, and it was going to be, part of it was going to be incorporate the old Kansas City Star building and Crossroads District, and down there they went crazy, and they put it to a vote down. They've got all these, Oh, it's not going to cost. Well, that's a lie. You know, it is going to cost them. I'm glad I don't live up there in Jackson County. D says, landed on the bedside of my truck a week ago or so. Landed on my left side and busted 3 ribs. Oh my gosh. D. Oh, dude, I've never had any broken bones in my lifetime. I'll bet it's painful. Yeah, I am having some trouble breathing. I got some pain in it's diaphragm related. It's sort of touch, and it does kind of cause some issue with the breathing a little bit. Of course, my respiratory doctor says it's muscular related, and she's not a muscle doctor. It's diaphragm related, you know. You would think that's part of your respiratory, you know, anyway. So I don't know. Anyway, so I had to get a new primary care doctor. Darlene says, Carol, I'll take baseball or football. Yeah, well, like I say, we pretty much, we like the Savannah Bananas. We've been watching the Savannah Bananas. That's a lot of fun. Too bad. And they sold that stadium out 2 nights, and a day game and a night game up there. And I'll bet the Royals were just embarrassed to their soul that they can't do that. It's but man, they sure packed in to see the Savannah Bananas. Carol says, I like my grandkids' sports. Now that's fun. Yeah. Anything kids get involved in, it's too bad that, you know, when you look down the road now, we've got this sports betting in the college ranks. They've arrested this or charged this kid with betting on his own games, some quarterback for Texas or something, I guess it was. You know, this sports betting. Oh no, this is not going to be a problem. Oh, there goes a stray dog walking up the road. You don't see those very often. Hope it doesn't get run over out there. The road's kind of bad. Kind of bad out there. They go really quick. So yeah, it's good for the kids. I agree. You know, anything with your grandkids is great, whether it's sports or whatever they do. You always support them. Yeah, I agree with you. And Carol says, right, Darlene. Darlene says, Carol, yes, that's my kind of fun. Yeah, Darlene, you spend all the time you can with your grandkids. That's so lacking these days. Up here in town, one of the suburbs has a festival every year. Call it Downtown Days. Well, it was last weekend, and they had a bunch of little thugs disrupt it to the point where they had to shut it down. There was bear spray released. They found a couple of ghost guns. You know, you'd think parents would be kind of watching what their kids are doing on their 3D printers. I tell you what. So, and a woman, innocent bystander, got knocked down. It hit the back of her head and is in the ICU. Oh, there goes another one. Stray. We don't see them very often down here. Anyway, they haven't really said much about her lately, but it was a pretty serious head injury. She hit the back of her head, and but we haven't really heard any much. So anyway, then the police showed up, and and they break it up, and they made some arrests, but then they released them to their parents. As far as I'm concerned, they should have arrested their parents, because that's what's happening in this country. Nobody's being held responsible for their actions. You know, things have consequences, and people are just they're just not holding anybody responsible for anything. They just turn around and release them. We had a incident up here in our little country town that we go to the grocery store. It's not really a suburb, but there's this 27-year-old kid. He had mental health issues, and he had threatened to kill his sister, shoot his sister. So they got a restraining order against him, apparently. Anyway, he ends up in court, and the judge releases him. Tells him he can't own a gun. He can't have a gun. So he's still waiting for that court date. And what happens? He takes a rifle to the grocery store up there, and he shoots and kills a woman, innocent person, didn't even know her. Then he shoots and wounds one of the workers there at the grocery store. Well, they get him down on the ground, or they get him subdued a little bit. He's still got the weapon, and he tries to shoot himself. And of course, he's such a loser that he's not even successful doing that. They showed a picture of him after he got out of the hospital. He come pretty close to being successful. His face was pretty messed up. He came close to success, but so that, you know, it just, I don't know, you know, it's just really sad where we're at in the world today. It really is. Oh, let's see. Darlene says, "Hello, Miss Mobo." Yeah, she's out here running around. I think she's over at the picnic table. She went up and checked on the garden a little while ago, and then I got the gas can needed to be transferred to another gas can. I'll tell you what, by the time I got that done, she had to go up and get the gas. I couldn't do it. She's really been a trooper through all this whole thing. I just can't do stuff like I used to. Now, I can mow. You know, I love to mow. But anyway, like I was telling, you know, Dee, I understand about the rib thing, because it hurts to touch and up into my breastbone right here. And one of my rehab teammates has the same thing. He said, so he went to his doctor, because I hadn't been to the doctor. You know, my rehab nurse was wanting me to. I did get a new primary care doctor, and because of this pain, you know, they always ask you, do you have any pain? And I'd say, yeah, well, I do. And where's the pain? It's in my chest. Well, that's the wrong answer. They kind of freaked out a little bit, and so we had a discussion there during class about it. And I said, well, it's not my. I said it's my ribs and my breastbone. He says sore touch, and that's where your diaphragm hooks to, is right there at your bottom ribs and around to your back. You know, I don't know exactly where the attaching points are at, but anyway, she said, well, from now on, answer that your ribs and your breastbone, not your chest, because we want to take you to the emergency room if you got chest pain, because it's a pulmonary rehab, and with this COPD, but I've had physicals, and before my last primary care doctor, what happened? She left the practice. But my last physical, I talked to her about this, and so she sent me up, and we did echocardiogram and abdominal aorta, and all that stuff is all good. Valves are good, flow's good. There's a little bit of accumulation in some of the blood vessels, but that's normal for an old fart. That's what kind of happens to us. We get accumulations. So anyway, my mate said, well, my doctor, they did tests, and they sent me for scans and all that. And he said they finally decided that it was my lungs are hard, they're not flexible, and they're rubbing. My lungs are rubbing on my diaphragm, and it's causing pain. And there's, like I say, there's really nothing we can do about it. And I got a whole chest full of, nodules and scar tissue. So that's kind of where we're at with that rib pain. So yeah, Dee, I imagine that broken ribs is probably pretty painful. You need to, kind of light duty it a little bit as much as you can till those heal up a little bit better. But yeah, Carol says, amen, Mobo. Yeah, we're talking about all this carryings on in the world, and the judges let these wackos out, tell them, oh, you can't own a gun. Well, where'd he get the gun to kill that lady, 40 years old? She had a lot of I wish, So, I hope that judge has a lot of trouble sleeping at night. I want to know where he got the gun. I tell you, the system is broken. I don't know. I want the good old days back. It's pretty scary looking to the future. I want to blame everything on mental health issues. Well, we all got mental health issues. Doesn't mean we got to use it to go out and, be a bad person. Take your mental illness issues out on an innocent person. And if you got that mental issues, they need to put you somewhere. That's what I think. Won't let you out so you can go and, make good on your promises to shoot somebody because you're jacked up and you're nodding. I don't know. Dee says, hi, Miss Mobo. Yeah, she's out in I think, sitting at the picnic table, playing on her game. She's resting from being up in the garden this morning. She replanted some of the cucumbers into another bed. So we've got two beds of cucumbers. Maybe we'll have enough to do some pickles. Who is that? Miss Mobo says, I didn't know she was in here. She's so ornery. Miss Mobo says, hi, Dee. Hope you heal quickly. Oh, let's see. Oh, Carol says, make mental hospital great again. I tell you what, man, I don't know. see, Darlene says, amen, Mobo. And she says, amen, Carol. Oh, yeah, I tell you what, this world, whew. Well, the Almighty says there's three ways of meeting your demise. The first one is the Almighty's way. He's the one that knows our story. The second one is Satan's way. That wide path leads to damnation. Life is not easy. The path is narrow and crooked, and you just have to keep moving forward with it. And the third way is unforeseen circumstance. You can be doing everything right, and still meet your demise. So that's why I say every day's a blessing. Don't take it for granted. The Almighty knows our story from beginning to end, and when it's our time, He'll let us know. He'll call us home. So we try not to worry about the silliness that goes on around us. It's just part of it. Dee says, Miss Mobo, I just keep pushing through. I have too much going on. Yeah. Well, that's why I said, Dee, you just gotta, try to be careful what you're doing a little bit, and what they say in NASCAR, you got to slow down to speed up. So, them ribs are going to kind of be a hindrance for a day or two. Miss Mobo's laughing. We know how busy Dee is. Darlene says, amen. Yes, ma'am. Yeah, we just put it in the Almighty's hands. We're just old humans. But I was just sitting here, and I'd never really done. I got sitting in front of the fan. It's been kind of hot to sit in the truck. So I thought, well, I'll just hit the button and see what happens. Stream's been pretty stable since we moved the truck. Dee says, Carol, I've been talking to the lady that's painting the Freedom American flag on barns all over. She is going to paint one on my trailer. It's not going to happen until the spring of 27. Yeah, I imagine she's pretty busy with all the 250th birthday, of the United States. It's going to be pretty busy the next few months. Carol says, that's great, Dee. Can't wait to see it. Yeah, that'd be awesome. So, put my glasses up. I gotta have them to read. But this is what I look like. It's kind of scary, isn't it? Oh man. But yes, sir. all these Democrats, I tell you, they got the derangement syndrome going on, and you know, they want to blame President Trump for everything. They don't want to help him straighten it out, but they can sure, you know, waste their time blaming him for everything. You know, we got this thing going on across the pond that they attribute the high gas prices to. Now that's a load of pucky. It's all artificial. That's we don't even get any oil from them, but yet they want to say that's why our gas prices are high. No, it's corporate greed. You know, it's just like these tickets for these soccer matches up here in town. Man, the people are paying $4,000 for just a regular ticket. And if you want to get in one of the good spots, it's upwards of $12,000 for a ticket to a soccer match. Just like, well, at least the gas did come down again. I was kind of surprised. It's the dude. I don't know where he's from. He ain't from around here. And the gas prices up here in town, our little town, just bounce up and down like a, oh, I tell you, it's crazy. Oh, so anyway, I sent Miss Mobo up to get more gas. And I said, no, if it's over, because he'd come down to $3.74. It'd been up almost $4.10. I think it was up to $4.09 or something like that here a couple of weeks ago. And I told her, I said, now if he's gone up again up there, and he's past $3.77, because that's where he was at for about a week. It was around $3.77. I said, don't come back home. I said, do not buy it. Don't pay for it. So she come back home. And he'd gone down to $3.69, which kind of surprised me because, you know, here we are shooting at each other again over there. They shot down a helicopter. And of course, then President Trump went in and took out some of their radar again that they're using to launch these drones. So I'll tell you what, but I was really surprised that it went down. So she filled the truck up and the gas can. So hopefully it'll keep going down there. Let me put my glasses back on and see the chat's moving a little bit. Oh, I missed some. Here, let me back up there a little bit. Oh, Carol's talking about D getting the flag on his trailer. D, that's great. Darlene wanting to know, Carol, did the storms hit you last night? Oh, sounds like we got some more hogs coming over. Yeah. We live pretty close to Air Force Base. What was it? Was it the warthogs? What? You didn't see it?
Yeah, I saw them. I don't know what it was.
Well, was it long flat wings or was it one of the little sleek jets? Yeah. That was A-10. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, we get the pleasure of seeing a lot of aircraft. We see the stealth a lot, and they keeping a wing of F-16s down there. I heard, and we don't see them very often, but every once in a while we'll see an F-16 come over. But they use the T-38 for they can the bomber pilots use those to train in, because they can set the controls on those T-38s to mimic the stealth bomber controls. So we see a lot of T-38s flying around, and a lot of Warthogs. Love the Warthogs, man. I'll tell you what. That plane's been around a long time, and our armed forces love them because they can remain over top of the theater for hours, and they got that Gatling gun in the nose that just makes mincemeat out of the enemy. They're just, and they can carry a lot of payload. They're quite an aircraft. Carol says the storms weren't bad, Darlene. Darlene says, good, Carol. Cindy had it really bad, yeah. Yeah, see, that all blew through from here. It all headed east, you guys. We've been seeing it. We've been seeing the same kind of stuff here. Dee says she's going to do the driver's side, and I'm going to do something on the passenger side. Carol says, oh no, is she okay, Darlene? And Darlene says, yes, I stayed on the phone with her till it finally ended. Yeah, I should have had a different shirt on and having a little, that blue kind of makes it kind of hard. This white shirt makes it kind of hard to see the blue. Dee says, Darlene, I didn't even hear the storm when it hit us last night. Slept right through it. And Carol says, thanks. Love, Darlene. Yeah. Darlene says, Dee, I'm glad you were sleeping. Cindy got it bad. Yeah, I tell you what, they can just spin up in a second. It's really been crazy around here. And then when it gets done with us, then it heads your direction. So I can imagine it's been a little unruly over there. Darlene says, W-Y, Carol. I know that means something. I should probably know what it is. Darlene says, I would love to see those, Mobo. Do what? Oh, that's what oh, okay, I get you. W-Y means you're welcome. I get it. It takes a lot of help, but eventually I get it. Dee says, hope everything is okay for her afterwards, Darlene. Darlene says, she's okay, Dee. It was scary. She was in the closet. Carol says, that's scary. Hugs for Cindy. Yes, yeah, I tell you. Yeah, that bad weather, it's I'll tell you, it can kind of get your heart going. Well, I'm glad that she made it through it. Yeah, like I say, we've had a lot of haven't really had any really tornado, big tornadoes. They've been little small spin-ups, but the main thing around here has been straight line winds ahead of these fronts, these squall lines that's coming through, and that's the same thing's going to happen here this afternoon into this evening. We're having a line developing out west. Right now, it's headed this way. For later this evening. I worry about, they've got these big arches and stuff. They at the great big heart entrance into into the grounds, and all these tents and stuff, and you know, you get a 70-mile-an-hour wind roll through, and I imagine it get kind of ugly pretty quick. So. Darlene says she'll tell Cindy for you, Carol, that you send her hugs. But and Carol says, thanks, Darlene. Sending you a heart. Darlene says, you're welcome, Carol. I love you guys. You guys are awesome. Well, you know, I probably ought to put my shoes back on and go out here and get on the mower and do a little bit of mowing. I'm approaching 55 minutes here. I got a guy I follow. He's up in, he lives on Lake Superior. Oh, thanks, Darlene. Bless your heart. You guys are awesome. I'm really fortunate. You know, I follow this guy. He's kind of ornery. And he lives right on Lake Superior, up in the Upper Peninsula. And Lake Superior's right in his backyard. It was the coolest thing during the winter. You know, when it was froze over, it comes up on his beach and stuff. And he only limits his stream to an hour, and then he restarts them. Now I don't know what the purpose of that is, other than attention span, length. You know, that if you do a longer stream than an hour, that it, you know, you don't get as many views. Or I don't know what that's all about. I don't understand. So anyway, only reason I say that is because here we're at 55 minutes. Oh, wait a minute, I think Carol's got to go. Yeah, wait, Carol says, got to go for now. Love y'all. Carol, we love you too, darling. You have a great day. Thanks for coming in and hanging out. Darlene says, Carol, have a blessed day. Love you. Dee says, talk with you later, Carol. Oh, Miss Mobo says, bye, Carol. Carol, love you, darling. Want you to have a great day. Keep weather aware. It's that time of year, you know. It's going to come rolling towards you again this evening, or tomorrow. That whipped through here at 50 miles an hour. Last night or night before. I'm not sure. I kind of lose track. But yes, we love you. We love you, Carol. Thanks for all you do for me, darling. And we'll see you downstream. 10-4. But yeah. So Tom, that's the guy's name that I follow up there. That he restarts his stream about an hour. Sometimes he'll run a couple hours, but most generally it's just an hour. Then he cuts it off and he starts it back up. So it's kind of hard to keep track of him because he's always, in an hour he shuts his stream down, and sometimes you don't get a notification for him. So, but I probably ought to go too, or I can leave the stream running if you never know, somebody come in if y'all want to leave or what. I can turn it around. You can watch me come back and forth out here to front. Watch traffic go by. Listen to the fan hum. I'm sending a message to this game that I play. It's a clan-based group game. So anyway, yeah. It's funny in this game too. Darlene says stay hydrated while you're outside mowing, Mobo. Yeah, I got my drink a lot of water. You can hear my voice is pretty shot, and it's a result of these respiratory meds that I'm on. I'm probably going to have to take it off my nailer. Talking like this, I get really short of breath. He says, Mobo, you'll have to let me know what you think of my truck in November. I hope it all turns out right. Yeah. Well, we're still talking about coming down for the day, and we won't be able to stay because, like I say, we're spending so much money on medicines and doctor's appointments. And I'll tell you, that rehab, it was probably $2,500. I mean, I learned a lot, and it helped me deal with what's going on a lot better. I'm not near as angry about it as I was. I was pretty angry. Number one with my respiratory doctor, but they really helped me a lot. But it's just been all this medical stuff is so expensive. Dee says I have 9 flags to put on it. Sweet. That's cool. Yeah, I've been thinking I'd like to get a 250th anniversary flag, but I don't know if that's in the budget or not. But yeah, so That'll be cool. Well, we're still planning on trying to get down there in November. So I see Mona was in here earlier, and she put out um, a convoy of honor link, an information convoy of honor info uh, link. Earlier, she was up in the top at the beginning when the stream was bouncing in and out. Darlene says, I know it's going to look great. Dee says, I hope so, Darlene. Yeah, it'll look pretty cool. Hey, what's going on, you all? There's you all. How you doing, brother? Been a while. You doing good out there? I see you've been putting up some restaurant reviews. Whenever I see one, I always give you a thumbs up. Just getting ready to go out and do some mowing. Hadn't done a live. I thought I'd come in. Just sitting here in front of the fan. It's really hot and humid here today, and it really affects this COPD. Especially the humidity. It's almost as bad as cold air in the winter. That heavy air makes it pretty tough. But I think I'm gonna take an inhaler hit here and go get on the mower and try to do a little bit of mowing before we're supposed to get a little bit of storms through here again tonight. So we'll see. Dee says he plans on being in Branson from November 9th through the 15th. Dee says, hey, you all. But, yeah, we want to come down for the day, make a day trip. We're going to head down. We're out of G-Spot seasoning. And so Miss Mobo wants to go down. Well, I'll tell you what, that's some good stuff. And Miss Mobo wants to go down and she told Miss G we'd be down later in the week, so we might go tomorrow. I don't know. We'll see. We may go Friday. We'll see how everything turns out as far as the weather. I don't know. I don't know what her work schedule. Miss Mobo knows all that stuff, so she's the commander of the ship. So Darlene says, that's great. I hope everything works out, Dee. Yeah, Dee. It's really an important thing. I like with, Miss Mobo's knees working good, and of course, I'm still short of breath like I was back, then too. So my deal's not really an issue. I got my best friend here. Here's my best friend. Pretty bad when you got to say your best friend is your inhaler. So yeah. So I'm looking forward to. It's in the plans. It's on the list. So and we haven't seen Mona for a day or two. We see her on the stream every once in a while when she does something. And she came in and said, hey, this morning, bless her heart. I know she's dealing with health issues too. So we keep her in our prayers. And Dee, you and Goldie, you're always in our prayers. Give Goldie a big old hug. You're always in our prayers, buddy. We love you too. And Darlene and Carol, y'all are awesome human beings. I'm so lucky. hoping to get a convoy of patriots to roll out there together. Bruce, Goldie, and I will sure be running together. And Dee says, thank you, Mobo. Well, you're welcome, Dee. You know, we love our truckers, man. And that's from an old trucker. You know, I was never over the road, but I run local and did lots of. I have a 3/4 ton Chevy. I wore 2 or 3 of those out over a period of time. And I delivered a lot of heavy stuff, motors and barrels of oil and rolls of conveyor belt and gear reducers and just I wore out a truck or two. But yeah, you guys got my respect. I know it's quite a job. Darlene says, I have one too, Mobo. That asthma kicks my butt. I'll tell you what. Yeah, it's quite the wrestling match it is. You be careful with that. Asthma's going to be just as bad as COPD. Yeah, anything to do with your breathing is try to kind of keep a handle on it. Yes, sir. I'm sorry, I was looking at the chat going on here. We're in a new, well, it's the same event, but they've kind of changed the rules on it. And a lot of the young players haven't really made that change yet. Used to want to get attacked on your lava fountain. Now that's the deal. You send your big armies and you battle. You don't lose your life, but you battle for it at your towers, and you gain points and stuff as you battle for your towers. Darlene says, tell Goldie and Bruce hello for me. Yeah, Dee, me too. Me and Miss Mobo. Tell them guys we love them. You know, we love you guys a bunch. I'm glad you came in hanging out. Raise those up. All you see is that reflection on my glasses. Maybe that's all you want to see. But yes, sir. Life can sure, deal you a fit. That's for sure. Just don't. We just put our trust in the Almighty and be glad for today, hopeful for tomorrow, and don't take nothing for granted. Dee says, will do, Darlene. I talk to Bruce almost every day. And Dee says, okay, Mobo. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, Dee. You guys do a whale of a job. We're lucky. It's too bad all drivers can't be like you and Bruce. There's there's some lot of stuff going on in your industry too. And some of them fools are causing a lot of deadly wrecks. There's a lot of people dying out there on the highway because of what's going on in our country. We got a lot of unscrupulous trucking companies that are, you know, it's just a shame. It is. And you know, I had a friend, she gets kind of upset with all this stuff. She says, well, what do we do? I said, well, Renee, there's really not much we can do except try to make our voice heard and our opinion. Try to do the same with people that were around. You know, stay informed, vote. You know, spend your money wisely. Don't give it away to people that hate you. You know, and that's those three things is about all we can do. You know, they're trying to take some of that stuff, trying to take some of that away from us too. You look what's going on out in California with all this mail-in ballot stuff crap going on. And oh, it could take weeks before we know the results. That's a load of horse pucky. You know. But that's California. You know, they deserve $8 a gallon gas. Those people out there are just, these blue states are just, I'll tell you what. Yeah, don't get me started about all that stuff. I gotta go mow. This mobo would say, oh, don't get him started. So I'm going to take a hit off of this inhaler, and I'll turn the camera around. I'll face it out the door here. You can watch today is sale barn day. So you'll see a lot of splatter wagons going by. A lot of construction stuff goes on around here in the county. A lot of people moving out here, try to get away from all that crazy stuff up in the city. So you'll probably see a lot of dump trucks going by. Oh, there's Marine Army Mom. How you doing, Marine Army Mom? Good to see you. Thanks for coming in. I was getting ready to go out and get on the mower. I'm gonna leave the stream running. We're an hour and 15 minutes. Stream's been real steady. Any stuff. Any bouncing here for quite a while. D. McLean says, Darlene, we have became really good friends. We help each other out whenever possible. We're more like brothers anymore. Bruce is a great guy. I'm glad you guys are close. Yeah, he's a great guy. That's wonderful to hear. Marines Army Mom says, I've been on a 3-week family vacation trip and we caught 17 largemouth bass. Oh, well, that sounds like fun. I'm kind of a trout guy myself. I like to go to the cold water rivers, and we're real lucky here in Missouri. Got a lot of good trout fishing. Bass, they're fun to catch, but they're they're kind of fishy tasting. Some people likes to eat them, but I just, I'd rather eat crappie and walleye. But that anytime fishing, anytime you're fishing is great. It's awesome. I'm glad you're sounds like you're having a good time, and that's what it's all about is having a good time. That's awesome. And those bass, boy, they fight. That's a lot of fun. Yeah, especially you get a hold of them big ones, 4 or 5 pounder. Boy, they'll give you a run for your money. Darlene says, "Oh, Dee, great to, that's great. I love to hear that. Yeah, about Dee and Bruce. Yeah, that's great. You guys are, they're lucky to have each other. That Bruce, he's a lot of fun." And Dee says, "Awesome, Marine Army Mom." Marine Army Mom says, "Yes, sir. We went trout fishing also. No, we catch and release only. Oh, well, I eat them. We catch our limit and we bring them home. We love to eat trout. Um, they're pretty tasty. We like to do them in foil with onion and butter and a little garlic, and throw that package on the grill, and then you just peel that foil open and dig in. Boy, I'm telling you, that's some good eating." Darlene says, "I like catfishing in the river at night." Yeah, catfishing. That's a lot of fun too. Yeah, any fishing. But I'm a trout. I like the cold water, them cold water rivers, down in the hollers, getting down there in southern Missouri. It's beautiful down there. Dee says, "Walleye and perch is what I grew up on." Yeah, I've ate a lot of perch. Yeah. Pumpkin seed bluegill. Yeah, we used to eat those a lot. Grandma fry them up. We'd scale them. And yes, sir. That's one of my favorite memories of my dad. He's been gone since '69. I think we would have been really good fishing and hunting buddies. I really miss him. Miss him every day. Marine Army Mom says, "Crappie is my favorite fish to eat." Yes, ma'am. That crappie, that's some good eating. My Diane, Miss Bobo's sister, lives down on Lake the Ozarks, and we haven't been down there for a while. Like I say, I just haven't got out of there. I had so many doctor's appointments, and I was going to rehab twice a week, and then the gas went crazy, and like I say, with all the medicine and doctor's appointments and stuff, our budget's been kind of shot to hell. So, but we got our spot, our little place here, and we love it, and we're safe and secure here, and we don't worry about nothing. But that crappie, so they keep us. They both love the crappie fish, and their freezer will just be full of crappie. So when we go down, they always send us home with several bags. So yes, that crappie, that's pretty good eating. It's kind of hard. The only thing that beats it really is walleye. That walleye, that's another, and trout. I don't know. I don't even know if trout beats crappie. I think if I had my choice, I'd eat crappie all the time. But I think I like to catch trout because of where you catch them. Sitting on the river, it's cool. The water, it's cold water, and so it's nice and cool. And you find you a good spot. I'm an old bait caster. I'm not much of a fly fisherman. I like it. Fly fishing's kind of busy. I don't do much of that fly fishing. And I'm left-handed. And them right-handed fly fishermen, they don't appreciate a left-handed fly fisherman. Hat off and crossing their lines, and they're like, I wish you'd go back and get in the truck. Dee says, I like shark as well. No, I never ate shark. I hear it's pretty good, but I've never ate shark. Darlene says, never been fishing for shark. Well, and you got to be really careful when you take the hook out, because they got really sharp teeth. Of course, so do those walleye. You got to really. They got some pretty good choppers on them. You got to really be careful with these. And of course, any saltwater fish has teeth. You don't hardly find a saltwater fish that don't have teeth. So you got to really be careful when you're fishing in saltwater. Yeah, those saltwater fish are pretty ornery. Yes, sir. That crappie, it's good. That crappie's hard to beat. Dee says my hand never gets close to their mouth. Hell no. But they like to flip around and stuff, man. They're really, man, I'll tell you what. You don't even have to have it might be your foot or your leg. You just got to really watch them dang sharks, man. They're just a flipping around, carrying on something fierce. You don't like it up there on the shore on the beach. But yeah, definitely don't want to get your hand up there. Maybe, I don't know, I guess maybe you ought to just cut the line. Hook's cheaper than a finger. Probably I'll put this old hair back and get out there in this wind. This wind is blowing pretty good today. End up with a face full of hair. You probably ought to do that. Darlene says, right. Yeah. Yes, sir, right. Dang right. Dang right. Well, there went that dump truck. They've been building these houses on these 5 acre lots. They're breaking up a lot of the farmers around here. The old farmers are selling, or their families are after they die. They're breaking up their farms into 5 and 10 acre lots. And down here, there's no zoning, so you don't have any. You don't have to buy any permits or anything. And we're just far enough out of the big city up there to have some elbow room, but not so far that we're stranded. Shopping's closed. And it takes us about, I don't know, 45 minutes, something like that, get up there. A little under 45 minutes. We're not that far out of Kansas City, so. So they're breaking these farms up and they're building houses on them because there's no zoning, there's no permits. So it's really lucrative for the builders to build. There's no inspections, of course. That leaves yourselves open for a lot of. Hopefully you get a good builder and no unscrupulous, builders. Haven't really heard of any of that going on, but take it, that old boy, he don't have any signage on his truck, so I would imagine that he's part of one of them building groups, and he hauls gravel. Most of the dump trucks have signage on them and DOT numbers and all that stuff, but this old boy, he's been pretty active. I don't know. So it takes quite a driveway to get back into the 5 acres. So they haul a lot of gravel. A couple of good big gravel pits around. D says the best time I had fighting something was an alligator. I had fun wrestling one of those 15 years ago or better. Oh, man, I'll tell you what, no. Not wrestling no alligator. And Darlene says, no way would I ever attempt that, D. D says, LOL, Darlene. Hell no. I was watching a show on PBS the other day. They were rounding up these crocodiles. Crocodiles are different from alligators. Right. Anyway, they was out there in the water, herding them up into these nets. Then they jump on them and get their mouth taped shut. That's the main thing, is tape shut. And then they would do their research at length and I guess tag them, and they cut one of their little fin things off so they could DNA them. And it goes along with their report and everything. And then they would release them. What's the point, you know? Anyway, that was their job. So, but it was pretty cool watching them wander around out there in that water with them things. I'm like, nope, not doing that. You can have that job. Darlene says, D, I just stay away from them. Hell yeah. Yes, sir. No alligators, no sharks, no. And walleye, like I say, they got some teeth. Oh, and we catch muskie around here too. Them muskie, that's another one you got to watch out for. They got some pretty impressive choppers, man. They cut you up pretty good. And what's crazy is, you grab them by the gill, and if you don't have a glove on, you get your hand in under their gill to manipulate them. Like say, that's another one you want to keep your hand away from their mouth. But man, it'll rub you raw. Their gills are just as rough as they can be, and man, they'll rub the hide right off your hand, off your fingers. But yeah. No gator for mobo. Marine Army Mom says, I've eaten gator, but I'm not going to wrestle one. No. We'll call up D and we'll have him wrestle the alligator, and then we'll eat it. D said, I was feeding one, wrestled it, and taped its mouth closed. I had fun. Well, I'd have been there for you, D, after you got his mouth taped shut. Well, here you got to watch their tail, too. Slap the dog knot out of you, I'll tell you what. That big old fat tail with them spike things on it, man, that would hurt. Get smacked with an alligator tail. Darlene's laughing. D says, my dad bet me I wouldn't do it. Well, there was his first mistake. Oh my goodness, that's too funny. That is too funny. So anyway, oh, I'm sorry, I was reading the chat on this game. Oh, here we got a new one here. Sophie MN7TW says hi. Hi, Sophie. Thanks for coming in. Darlene says hi, Sophie. Sophie says hi again. I'm glad you came in, stopped in for a little bit. Oh, she says hi again. Oh, what else is going on, Sophie? We're oh, hi Terry. How you doing, darling? Oh, now Sophie says, hey, instead of hi. Oh, Terry, how you doing, darling? Thanks for stopping in this afternoon. I just hadn't done this for a while. We're at an hour and 33. I really need to go get on the mower. But we've been having a really fun time here in the chat, talking about fishing for sharks. And Marine Army mom went, she's been on vacation. She's been fishing. They caught a lot of bass, and they've been doing some trout fishing. And then Dean McLean's telling us about his alligator wrestling adventures. Told him he could have my alligator. And Terry says, hi, Darlene. Oh, we made Sophie laugh. Oh, now the chat's starting to roll. I'm getting a little behind here. Yeah, Darlene says, hi, Terry. Oh, Sophie's good. She's laughing emojis. We tickled Sophie. She's laughing. Oh, Terry says, hi, Sophie. Oh, Dee says, that's how I got my '69 Chevy pickup. Oh, that was the bet, huh? Your dad lost that bet. Oh, Terry says she's cooking salmon. Sophie says, how are you? Well, we're doing pretty good, Sophie. Just having a good time in the chat. Dee McLean says, hey, Sophie. Oh, Sophie says hi again. And Dee says, hi, Terry. Oh, Sophie says, hi, Dee McLean. So, but yeah, I'm sorry, I'm a little distracted here. Just watching the chat here in the total battle. Today is the lava fountain event. And I'll tell you what, some of these people, they can't do their own stuff. They're more worried about other people's stuff. I had them there was a tournament, it's called the Ancient, and you build a vault, then you organize a raid to destroy the vault, and then you the day after that part of it, then the golden one, the Ancient, is summoned, and you all battle the Ancient for points or to level up your warrior or whatever. So the leader distinctly said in the announcement that each warrior is responsible for their own vault. So I built my vault, and it takes a little bit of time. You have several quests and stuff that you gotta do to gain the points to get the map pieces to find your vault and everything. Well, I did all that, and before I could even get, I barely got it registered, and then I went to organize the raid to take the vault down. And by the time I got, and it wasn't maybe 30 seconds, maybe a minute, and this dude walked in and stole my vault. I'll tell you what, it's just like the world. Nobody's satisfied with their own stuff. They gotta take your stuff. You got the scammers, you got the thieves, you got, they come and break into your house, and I worry about these poor soccer fans. They're gonna have to leave their cars parked down here in an area that's known for homeless people busting out windows and stealing stuff out of cars. And so nobody's really talking about much of that. So anyway, the same thing's going on with this. Today's a lava fountain event, and you have so many fountains. Your fountains, I think 5. You have an option of getting a 6th one through the previous stage of this tournament, and people are already talking about, hey, well, this fountain doesn't have anybody on it. So, is it your fountain? No. Well, can we take it? Well, hell no. What is wrong with you people? Leave it alone. It's not yours. Good Lord. What in the hell is wrong with it? I'll tell you what. Anyway, I got distracted. I'm sorry. Let's see. Let me catch up. Terry said it had walleye day before yesterday and bass yesterday. Oh, wait a minute. Is that? Oh, okay. Well, yeah, because, Terry's married to a walleye fisherman. And by the way, his name is Walleye Guy. Say hey to Walleye Guy for me, Terry. Oh, you're lucky you got to have walleye. Mm-mm. I'm not much on salmon. Never have been, And people say, well, you like trout, you ought to like salmon. Well, no, that's kind of different. But I was never really a big fan of salmon. But it's good for you. Lots of people like it. D. McLean says, I still have all my fingers and toes, so I'm good. Oh, that's good. D. McLean's laughing. Sophie says, hey, and more laugh. We just got Sophie's just tickled. She's just tickled as she can be. And Terry says, hello, D. McLean. Sophie said, I see chips. I don't see chips. Where do you see chips at? Did I miss something? Oh, maybe she likes fish and chips. Marine Army Mom says, hey, Terry, just do what?
The chips hanging up behind you.
Oh. Oh, Sophie, that's our chips. So yeah, you do see chips. She says, I see chips. I love chips. I see chips. I love chips. Marine Army Mom says, hey, Terry's just doing her thing. Yeah, we live in kind of a small, I'm going to say it's a tiny house. And so I'm out in the container. We have a shipping container, small one. And so when Miss Mobo sees chips on sale, she gets them, and I've got a wire. I've run wires across, and so we hang our chips out here in the container because we don't have place for them in the house, and they're not cheap. So when you find them on sale, you want to go ahead and get them because we like chips too. So, boy, Sophie you just don't miss nothing, does she? Yeah, that's about all you can see back there's our chips. Oh, D. McLean says everybody's looking for an easy way in or out. Yep. Yep, I know, brother. It's terrible. It really is. Nobody wants to take responsibility for themselves at all anymore. You know, they all want it free. Nobody wants to work anymore. It's terrible. I don't know. I don't know. I don't. We just, like I say, you just have to try not to let it get under your skin too much and keep moving forward. Try to lead by example. That's all you can do. Sophie says no behind. Yeah, Sophie, Miss Mobo told me you can see. Yeah, Sophie says, how much are they? and that's the on sale price. A large bag is $3.99. A small bag is $2.50. And if you don't catch them on sale, it's more than that. I'll tell you what, you got to jump on them sales. Sophie says, okay. Darlene says, they're looking for a free handout. Yeah, darling, it just, I don't know, darling. It's I don't know. You want to try to, explain it or justify it, but there just really isn't. Terry says, MAM, hello. Terry says, Walleye Guy says hello. Hey, Walleye Guy. Hope you're doing well. Sounds like you are. I've been watching. I see you. You're pretty lucky. I think Terry takes pretty good care of you, don't she? But yeah, that walleye, man, I'll tell you what, that's some good eating too, man. You can't. Anybody wants to offer you some walleye, you better take them up on it, because it's some good stuff. That's some good fish. Good, nice white fish. But yeah, I tell you, that's what I say. Nobody wants to take responsibility for themselves. It just, and now with all everything that's invaded our country, it's even worse. And so, no, we're just paying for everything. I don't know how much they think we can support. I don't get it. It's so, like I say, Dee says, I get upset about that stuff, Darlene. Yeah, I get it, Dee. Me too, brother. Yeah, and any normal person should too. If somebody says something's free, you better ask them how much it costs, because there's nothing free. I'm sorry, there's just not. It's just not free. Anybody that says so is just deluded. Yeah, I'll tell you. It's this whole world, it's just not the same world that we grew up in. It's it's just not. Well, here we're coming up on an hour and 47 minutes. Dee says, yeah, always a catch. Yes, sir. Terry says, we are going to eat. Tim 4, Mobo, take care. Take care, everybody. Terry, I love you always and forever, darling. We just leave it in the rearview mirror, right? And I'll see you downstream. 10-4. Terry sending us American flags. Yes, ma'am. Darlene says, Terry, have a blessed day. Miss Mobo says, bye, Terry. Enjoy your dinner. Oh, yeah, and pet them dogs. We love Frankie and Lucy. Oh, Terry says, Mama Mobo. She sends her hearts and hugs and smiles. Terry's awesome. So talented. She makes journals out of stuff. It's the coolest thing. They're really, really cool. She's very, very crafty. I love to watch her make her journals and paint. She loves to. She paints. She's just. It helps her. That's her release. You know, everybody needs something to, form. For themselves. And Terry's very crafty. She makes some beautiful things. Marine Army Mom retracted something. That's all right, darling. Marine Army Mom sends American flags too. Yes, ma'am. We love our country. I wish everybody did. It's they say they do, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, well, you guys, I'm just going to leave it running. Y'all can talk amongst yourselves, or there'll probably be some folks come in and say, what is this? But I'm gonna put the shades on. So get my gloves here. How much battery do we got? Oh, we're down to 16%. I don't know, maybe I ought to turn shut her down. Yeah, we just went to 15%. Yeah, streaming takes a lot of juice. It sure does. I could probably go get the charger and plug it in. But I tell you what, I think I am just going to go ahead and end this one. And thank you all for coming in and hanging out. And I was glad to see I can kind of stream here in the container. Signal been pretty strong. Not a lot of bouncing. Once we got the truck moved and everything, it cleared right up. Marines Army Mom says, Mobo, have a great day. Marine Army Mom, you too, darling. Thanks for coming in, hanging out with us, and it's been a lovely chat. And I want you to continue to, if you're still on vacation, continue to enjoy yourself. That we need to do that, and because these days everything you can do to lighten the load, we need to do. So catch more fish. Fishing's a blast. It's great for your soul. So get on out there, dip some more lines. Keep your line wet. D. McLean says, have a great day and God bless. See you too soon. See you too soon, Mobo. Yes, sir. Hey, be careful with them ribs, brother. Try to pace yourself now, and do the best you can to keep them protected. Want to see you. Want to see you in November for sure. Darlene says, everybody have a blessed day. Send us all kind of prayers, and there's a flag, and thanks, Darlene. Oh, she says, don't stay away too long, Mobo. I won't, Darlene. I'll do this. Yeah, I will keep you informed of what's going on in Mobo land. And I enjoy, you guys. You just really don't know how much good this does me to just hang out with you guys. And I wish my voice wasn't so bad, but I hope you can hear me and stuff. But yeah, have a blessed day. Be glad for today, and don't take it for granted. Don't take it for granted. And I'll see y'all downstream. Darlene, love you, darling. Marine Army Mom says, Mobo, you are a blessing to many. Now you're going to make me cry. You guys are awesome. I'm really lucky. I'm really a lucky streamer. Even the little goofy stuff that I do, I'm really blessed with a bunch of really great human beings. You guys are awesome. Darlene says, love you, Mobo. I'll not be such a stranger. I know it's been several weeks. Before I go, I want to say, Theo, I hope you're safe over there in the UAE. I got your message. I want to thank you for, keeping me in your heart, in your prayers. I appreciate you, and you're in our prayers too. You stay aware of what's going on, and know that that we're praying for you too, Theo. So, Dee says love y'all. Darlene says love you, and Goldie D. Oh, Sophie's back. Hey, I'm back. Well, I'm about out of juice, Sophie. I'm down to 13%. I think I'm gonna go ahead and end this stream. Everybody's kind of heading out, and we're knocking on 2 hours here now. So, Sophie, want you to have a great day. Thanks for coming in, hanging out, and like and subscribe. Hey, y'all, love you. Yes, Marine Army Mom, God bless America. And we'll see y'all downstream. 10-4.